Hey everybody, Nobuddy here, and we thought we'd welcome February the right way by showcasing another one of my favorite Saturday morning cartoons. This particular one is the granddaddy of them all, because today I'm going to be talking about G.I. Joe.
We'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero. G.I. Joe is there. It's G.I. Joe against Cobra and...
Starting in 1983, this cartoon series kicked the butt out of anything that could have ever been considered toyetic, which is a word that I'm going to get to later on and show you all about. But first, I figured I'd talk a little bit about the mythos of the characters and the story here and tell you all about it. Starting off with the Joes. Yeah. So these characters were created with the sole purpose of fighting against the elite terrorist organization known as Cobra, who was ran by a super sinister guy with apparently a very fantastic house named Cobra Commander. This guy was a big jerk. And he enlisted the help of a bunch of other big jerks who wanted nothing other than to destroy the world or take it over. It was kind of a toss-up. Yeah, they would go back and forth. Sometimes it was, we've built the thing that would destroy the world and we're going to destroy it. Or, what's even better, is that sometimes they were like, we built this thing and unless you don't adhere to our demands, then we're going to use it. And it was really weird. But like 90% of the time, it didn't work out for them because, duh, they were bad guys in a cartoon in the 80s. So like, Cobra Commander had people like Sinestro, which is the fella in the little shot here, which is a very shiny man who could get his hands on just about anything that they wanted. Now there's a bunch of other characters and stuff, but this would be way too long of a video to name them all. Let's just put it this way. Cobra and G.I. Joe, who consisted of a bunch of other people too, like Snow Job and Snake Eyes. I wanted to say the two most outrageously asinine names because those two guys were very specific in their outfits. One was a black suit, blind guy, ninja. Another guy was covered in snowy stuff, furry jackets, named Snow Job, who like did jobs in the snow. Get it? Anyway, but like a lot of these characters had specific goals or specific traits, specific abilities, words, that would like be used in situations that would help them against Cobra Commander. Now, it was always the same premise. Every episode was, oh no, Cobra got a hold of this thing. And then the Joes were like, we have to stop him with this thing. And then they would fight for a minute and they'd realize, oh man, this thing is really tough. But then they would always come back with something to help the situation out. Not to mention the fact that the Joes were, you know, absolute badasses in the fields that they were in. Lasers being shot at them all the time, running around kung fu kicking people like our bad man here. It's pretty crazy to think that like they could make 4 seasons of this, but they did. And again, the main reason why this show exists is solely because of a cartoon trying to sell toys. And that's what the word toyetic means. That doesn't necessarily mean cartoon selling toys. The word toyetic means any kind of thing that can be marketed. So like, all of these cartoons had vehicles and weapons. Insane vehicles and weapons. Jets that turn into helicopters. Helicopters that turn into boats. Boats that turn into tanks. Tanks that turn into tanks. All kinds of different things that they could use. And every episode it was crazy. Now if you notice, did you notice how certain things like their helicopter that they were just in, how the rockets were bright orange? Okay? And how like none of them actually have firing guns that shoot bullets. They're all like laser rifles and stuff. I spoke about that earlier because of the whole violence on TV thing, but it makes it easier when you don't have to worry about selling projectiles with the vehicles and characters that you're selling. Now, they would do this every year, or they would do this every episode, where they would show an episode and the Joes were in trouble. What were the Joes going to do? Good thing they've got there, and then they would show a commercial. And this is what I wanted to get to. This is like one of the important things about this, was just exactly how much of a franchise that, one, this company was able to get. Because Toei Animation drew the cartoon, okay? The story was created by Marvel. This is another one of those scenarios where they were like, we need names and characters, stat. Or like character names and bios, stat. And Marvel, being the infinite bucket of just nerd wisdom, whipped it together for them. And, like, we have to remember that, like, these premise for every cartoon was just absolutely redonkulous. I mean, their plots included stuff like mind control and, like, manipulation and stuff through brain waves, and they always had some weird, like, remote control, like, oh, it's literally happening behind me, isn't it? Yeah, like, remote controlled devices and stuff that they could use to, like, get the Joes in some stupid screwed up situation where they have to fight each other or something. It was really kind of crazy. I mean, when you think about it, like, if they would have just blown up Cobra Commander in the first season, it wouldn't have been that long, when they probably wouldn't have sold that many toys. Look at him. Nah. That's what you get. Should have bought the new helicopter with the homing rockets. Oh, look, player 2 joined in. This is great. Beefcake. Anyway, no, I gotta start talking about the show. Okay. Actually, no, commercials. So here's some fun stuff to look at. Now, you see what I'm saying? They would showcase these vehicles and how crucial they were to the moment at hand. Now, this was a live-action animated mix, so I'm not really going to give them too much guff for this. But the original cartoons, or the original commercials, were literally just straight-up, like, minute-long cartoons. And then, see, it's like vehicle and driver sold separately. Here's another one. Now, this is really great because this is a goofy-looking, like, tri-wheel tank. I don't even really know how to explain this, but if you look at it, like, all of these vehicles, every single time they made a new one, was always, like, completely blown out, different, unique, and, God, I don't know how to say it. These commercials were designed to show them in action, to show kids playing with them, to show, what the Joes looked like when they used them. And then it made you just want to do backflips out the window and go buy them. I think that's really crazy, right? Like, I thought, personally, like, how amazing would it be to, like, have all of them because I wanted them all right now. But also, like, something to take into consideration, these 3 companies that created this show were competing with a bunch of other things at the time. It was the 80s. It was 1983. Star Wars was just getting ready to come out. Like, there were all these other things, like action figures and stuff, was just getting ready to just, like, blow the market out. So they had a lot to compete with. And, I mean, like, to go 4 seasons and sell that many toys, and remember, movies and all kinds of other stuff, it was just super impressive. I hope you guys liked the 2 today about G.I. Joes. I hope you learned as much as I thought you did, because I kind of ramble a little bit when I get excited. Be sure to tune in. We got a few more cartoons coming up. I also got some new segments coming on the way that I hope you guys will really enjoy. We want to try something new in the channel, so be sure to let me know in the comments below if you liked it or not. Otherwise, my name is Nobody. I love your face, and I'll see you next time.